Cruising on into vlog number 88, and I'm not coming to you as a very happy man. First reason is because I booked a $1,000 loss my last time out to the poker table, which I did not vlog, and that really cut in to my profits on what's been a very much below average year so far, as I'm sure it is for many of you. And the second reason involves sports. And I'm very unhappy about both the teams that I root for the most. And I also have to take issue with something Daniel Negreanu said with regards to that coming up later in this vlog. But I'll do that at the end of the vlog. Right now, let's head over to Peppermill, driving through the smoke. Seems like the entire city of Reno is one big sports book right now. Even though shout out to the MGM casino that I heard about in Las Vegas that's going to be non-smoking. It's about freaking time we get some non-smoking casinos that opened up. That is so long overdue here in the state of Nevada. Unfortunately, the Peppermill is not yet one of those. But let's head there now and play some single $5 blind, no limit hold'em. Renovations continue at the Peppermill Poker Room to start vlog number 88. We jump into a single $5 blind, no limit hold'em game with plexiglass playing 9-handed. And the first hand comes when under the gun +1 opens to 15. Under the gun 3 calls, as does the button, and I look down at ace jack of spades in the blind, and I decide to squeeze here. I make it 75. The original raiser was the only guy that I thought that I had to worry about. You know, he folded, I felt pretty good. +3, a guy wearing a mask and a hat, and being all the way on the other side of the table was a guy that I thought I didn't know. But he ends up calling, and the button ends up folding. So with 180 in, the flop is king 4-5 with 1 spade. Now being first to act, I decided on a c-bet here, thinking that he was likely pocket pair heavy and would fold a lot to a bet. I make it 85, and he ends up thinking about it and shoving all in. Now I obviously snap fold, but the interesting thing was that I then heard him talk and realized that he was a massive VIP that I hadn't played with in a year or two. So I admit that I still should have realized it was him, but I just thought it was a funny dynamic with the masks on in live poker that played a role, because I never would have tried to bluff this guy in a million years if I'd known it was him. Later on, I pick up pocket jacks under the gun and make it 20. +2 calls, as does the low jack. So with 60 in, it comes king 10-5 with a couple of diamonds. I bet out here for 30, knowing against these two opponents, I can definitely get called by worse. +2 calls, and the low jack folds. So with 120 in, the turn is the 7 of diamonds, bringing in front door diamonds, and I check. He ends up betting 45. So with backdoor diamonds and a hand that is likely to be good a lot of the time, I elect to make the call. So with 210 in, the river is the 7 of hearts. It goes check, check here. I show my hand, and he mucks. Later on, we get a raise to 15 from the aforementioned VIP. I have pocket 9s in the blind and make it 45. He makes the call as expected, so with 90 in, it comes 8-10 jack rainbow, giving me a pair and an open-ended straight draw. I decide to check here given the fact that he only has about $85 left, come to find out. He ends up checking back, and the turn is a queen, giving me a straight. I bet out for 50 here, hoping he has a pair of something. And it became pretty clear that he did, because he shoved all in instantly after that, which obviously resulted in me snap calling. We have a $260 pot here, and he ends up having king-queen, which is really good news for me, up until the minute the river comes an ace and I lose. Next hand I open king-queen of hearts, +1 and the OMC on my right, call, as does the button. So with 60 in, it comes King 7-8 with 1 heart. I bet 40. The OMC folds, and the button calls. So with 140 in, the turn is the 10 of hearts, giving me a flush draw. I bet 75 here, and the button thinks about it for a minute, and ultimately lays his hand down. I think I probably should have sized way down, given how much equity I had, and the fact that I was almost certainly ahead anyway. I ended up losing about $150 after bet folding top pair on the river to an OMC, and then moved into the last hand of the vlog. I picked up 6-7 of clubs in the low jack, in what ended up being a 5-way limped pot. So at 25 in, the flop came 8 of clubs, 9 of diamonds, 9 of spades, and the blind bets out for 10, which the player on my right immediately calls. I thought about making a play here, but opted for just a call in what was still a 5-way pot at that point. After that, the hijack makes it 30, obviously knowing he's going to get some action. And to my amazement, everybody in front of me folds. A very rare occurrence in a spot like that in Reno Poker. I'm obviously not going to fold here in what is now a heads-up pot between me and a moderate VIP when I have an open-ended straight draw and a backdoor flush draw. So with 105 in, the turn is the deuce of clubs, giving me backdoor clubs. He bets out for 75, and I have an obvious call here. With 255 in, the river is the 5 of hearts, giving me my straight. Probably a better option for getting paid off than making the flush. I decide to lead out for the majority of the pot, making it $225, obviously hoping he has a 9 and knowing that if he does, it doesn't matter what a kicker is, he's going to call me regardless. But I also have to factor in, considering that we're both playing over 1,000 deep, that if he does decide to raise big on me here, he's probably only going to do that with a full house. So, factoring those two things in mind, I opted for a big bet, but still one smaller than the size of the pot, which he does not take long, and he ends up making the call. So we have a $705 pot, and he ends up showing ace-9 for trips on the flop with top kicker. Obviously, if I had known he had that, I would have bet every cent I had on the table and would have likely been paid off. But either way, the hand works out well for me, and it actually took me out of the red on the day. All right, heading home, not the longest session, booking just a small win of a little over $200, but I'm not even thinking about that. I'm still mad about my Vegas Golden Knights. And I gotta take issue with Daniel Negreanu. And I'm a big fan of his, I will say that. I've always liked Daniel a lot. Had the chance to talk to him once on my old radio show, and he was very good to me. But that said, he's a Golden Knights fan. And after the Vegas Golden Knights got eliminated in the Western Conference Finals, he decided to say, well, I'm not all that sad because their coach sucks, and it's crap what they did to Marc-Andre Fleury, who's been their face of their franchise as their goalie. I really have to disagree. Yes, I was surprised when they fired Gerard Gallant as well, but the fact of the matter is they brought in Pete DeBoer and he took him to the conference finals and won the vast majority of the games he coached. And Robin Lehner is just flat out better than Marc-Andre Fleury. I know Fleury had been the face of the franchise, but that's not how professional sports works, Daniel. You don't play the guy because of what he's been. You play the guy who's better now! Oh my God, it's infuriating. So for those of you who are DAT Poker podcast listeners, which I am, you may have heard that too. Admittedly, chances are I realize you probably don't care. But damn it, this has been a very painful year for me for sports. My 49ers losing the Super Bowl and then blowing their home opener to the Cardinals. And now my Vegas Golden Knights, who I literally devoted an entire year to covering this one year's team, because the season started basically an entire calendar year ago, And I pay attention to them every single day, listening to podcasts and reading about them and things like that. More than I should, probably. But devoting an entire year to it, and then watching them lose in pretty tough fashion in the conference finals hurts. Obviously, the farther you go in sports and you lose, the more it hurts. So, I try not to mention this kind of stuff on this vlog too often, but damn it, the sports gods. After watching my San Francisco Giants win 3 World Series, ending in 2014, they've done nothing but punish me since. It's like, oh yeah, you had 3 World Series? Well, guess what? You're in for a brutal decade ahead, buddy. And that's what it's been. Come here. You gonna throw that thing? Are you a lefty? Are you a southpaw? I hope you are. They get paid the most money. All right, I'm hanging out with my little boy. He's about 8 months old now, and he's really starting to crawl around. And it is fun to see. Guessing the over-under on him walking is not that long from right now. How you doing, my boy? Say hi to the vlog. Say hi to the vlog.